Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dude with a Fork. My name is Ken. On today's episode of Ken Cooks Stuff, we're taking that word cooks lightly because I'm making something. It doesn't really involve cooking. I think I've talked about this cookbook before, and somewhere in here, and I can never find it. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. See, I can never find it. So when I found it, I wrote it down on an index card. But for vegan lime crema, and I've been kind of intrigued by this whole idea that you can take cashews, soak them overnight, and then make all sorts of like vegan versions of cream-based things. Because I love cream, I love dairy, but I'm lactose intolerant. And also, when you buy something like that, it comes in a big, huge container, and there's no way I'm going to eat all of that in 2 weeks before it goes bad. So, how this recipe goes, it's fairly simple. I'm going to see if I can find it again. It bugs me that I have not yet learned to actually just, here it is. I mean, I have Post-it notes in here. I just need to mark this one. So the ingredients are very simple. You just take a cup of raw cashews soaked overnight. I'm going to talk about that. Half a cup of water, a juice of 1 medium lime, a quarter cup of freshly chopped cilantro. I'm going to talk about that. Quarter teaspoon onion powder, half teaspoon salt, and a medium clove of garlic. I'm out of fresh garlic, so I just used a quarter teaspoon of granulated garlic. But the part I'm going to talk about here, so I took this cup measure and got a cup of pistachios out of the bag. And I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to soak these. It doesn't say whether to soak them in hot water. It doesn't say whether to soak them in cold water. Doesn't say to soak them on the countertop, doesn't say to soak them in the fridge. I don't know. I've never done this before. So I just soaked them in cold water and put the bowl in the fridge overnight. It's kind of assuming you've done this before when you just get instructions like that. If you have never done something like this before, you kind of need a little bit more direction. But dry, these weighed 127 grams, and soaked, they weighed 157 grams. So they absorbed about 30 grams of water, about 25% of their original weight. And here's the thing that's interesting. Okay, so these are the unsoaked ones. These are the soaked ones. And you can see these are a lot paler and a little bit bigger. But here's the cool thing. These are the unsoaked ones. I mean, they break in half. It's a very mild flavor, cashews. But you can see they just break. Okay? The soaked ones, they don't really break. They just kind of bend, and then they snap. So they're very soft. They're very, very soft. They're very flexible. And I take it, that's what you're going for. So yeah, that kind of worked. I'm kind of impressed with how they became. Much more soft. So the other thing I'm going to talk about is this cilantro, because this is just the bag I bought at Aldi. And this says to use a quarter cup of freshly chopped cilantro. There is no way I am going to rinse this, dry this, chop it, and measure out a quarter cup. I'm just going to grab a bunch of this, rinse it really well, and just throw it in there until I feel that it has a nice cilantro-ish flavor, because I might not want as much cilantro as Ava Fox did. Although I have a funny feeling Ava Fox and I are on the same page with cilantro, because that seems like a lot of cilantro. So anyway, I'm going to go get, this says to use a blender, a high-speed blender, which I have. So I'm going to set this up over on the counter, meet you there, and we'll get to blending. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep snacking on these, because it was so good. I have a story to tell about cashews. I think I said I'll put it on my podcast. Oh, yeah. The juice of 1 medium lime. This is not super medium. It's rather on the small side, but I do have an extra one just in case I feel that this is not enough lime flavor. So I'll get everything set up on the counter and meet you over there. All right, so I am set up over here at the counter, and I have my big, huge blender here. This has a rubber base here because this used to have a shroud, a plastic shroud that was supposed to cut the noise, and it got lost when I moved. Doesn't really make a difference because it's super loud without the shroud, and it's maybe like 1 decibel less with the shroud. It was just another thing that got in the way. So here we have our cashews, our salt, onion powder, garlic powder, or granulated garlic, our lime juice, and there was actually quite a bit of lime juice in that little lime. Here's quite a bit of cilantro, And you can see I left the top stems on because they're quite flavorful anyway. So, and then we have half a cup of water. So I'm just going to start putting things in. Kind of excited to see how this goes. Gonna start off with the cashews. Go in with our half cup of water and our lime juice. And I'm going to get that going a little bit before I start adding the other things. So let's see. Hi, yes. Oh, I think this one. It's plugged in. What is going on here? Oh, there's a power switch over here. Duh. There we go. Now it'll work. See, now we see lights. Well, it's getting there. I mean, look at that. It didn't say how long to pulse it for, or to blend it for. So I'm going to start adding some of this. I added all our seasonings in. Going to go in with a little bit of the cilantro, which just smells amazing, by the way. I love cilantro. Who does not love cilantro? I'll tell you who doesn't love cilantro. People for whom it tastes like soap. Maybe we'll try pulsing it. I think part of the problem with blenders like this is you do get air bubbles in there. So I'm just going to go in with a chopstick. It is very green. Try to get some of these air bubbles out. You can see it's doing a pretty good job of making it smooth, but it still looks a little chunky. So I'm assuming this is supposed to get as smooth as just regular sour cream, right? I mean, that would kind of be my thought anyway. So we shall see. Yeah, see when I stop it, a big bubble of air comes out. So I'm gonna get in here with a spatula, scrape the sides down. This seems like a lot of work, but it's just because there is no such thing as a perfect blender. And I've had this blender for a number of years, and I spent a lot of money on it. So it should be good. It's a Hamilton Beach. So. You know, I'm doing the Tim Allen thing where I'm assuming more power is better. Maybe we just go on low for a bit, and then we won't get the air bubble. I think we're getting there. Let's take a look. So here's another chopstick. And you can see the first one. I think you can. The bottom one is the first one. It still had quite a bit of chunks. Well, this top one still has quite a bit of chunks. I'll just give it a good stir and see if we can make this work. It's not a problem with the cashews because it said soak these overnight, and these were in the refrigerator, probably 14 to 16 hours. So we'll go back on low again. Poof, you can see that big. I'm kind of worried as to why this is moving. It's been a while since I've used this blender. I do have a blend jet. I don't know if all of this would have fit in there, though, but I bet it would have. That would have been the way to go. So yeah, I'm going to keep messing around with this off camera and see how smooth I can get it, and then meet you back at the table for taste testing. I also have to see if this is enough cilantro, because if not, I need to add more, but it's looking good. So I will meet you back over at the table. There it is. It's very green. It is green. And it's very creamy. I brought some chips to taste this with. It's very creamy. I have a spoon here. I mean, look at that. Is it perfectly smooth like sour cream? No, you can see it looks to be a little maybe little tiny pieces of cashew in there. But the question is it creamy enough? And does it taste good? And we're going to find out. I need to put the spoon down. Okay, I also want to say I did not use all that cilantro. I probably used half of it. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's got a very good cilantro flavor. It's very smooth, though. It's very creamy. It tastes rich the way cream should. So I'm just going to get in here and get a little taste of this. With these are some of those on the border tortilla chips I bought the other day at Sam's Club when I bought the cashews. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, would I put this on tacos? Yes. Would I put this on burritos, enchiladas, whatever? Oh my God, yes. It's amazing. I mean, I could eat this just like this. This is so good. It's almost, I mean, and it's definitely healthier than like nacho cheese dip. A little bit of jalapeno in there would have gone a long way. I honestly did not expect to like this much. I didn't expect. It looks a little thin because it's I've been blending it up, but if you put this in the refrigerator, it'll thicken up quite a bit. Oh man, that is so good. That's amazing. Oh, now sadly, whoever photographed this book for Ava Fox did not include a picture of that. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I need to stop eating this. Oh, this is so good. Oh, I have no regrets about buying those cashews now. None whatsoever. The question I need to figure out is, I can eat this in a week, no problem. But I need to know, will this freeze? So I have a little container here. This is one of these little deli containers. I did label it vegan lime crema. 3/30/2025. I work in a lab, so I label everything. Rule number 1 is no unlabeled containers. Actually, there's also rule number 0, which is don't do anything that makes us have to make more rules. So I'm going to fill this little container up, and I'm going to pop this in the freezer, and we will, if I can do it without making a mess, and we will revisit this in a week and see. Because if you freeze cream, it breaks down. What I'm afraid will break down in here is the cilantro. But yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, this turned out so much better than I thought it would. Oh my gosh. You have to make this. You have to make this. And it's healthier than regular crema because it's all natural plant-based fat, so there's no cholesterol in there. There's also no salt except from that half a teaspoon that I added because there's no salt on these nuts. So if you're looking to go salt-free, you could very easily do that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to make tacos just so I can eat this all week long. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to pop this bad boy. See, now you can see the writing on it. I'm going to pop this bad boy in the freezer. We'll come back in a week. I'll thaw him out, and we'll see how he does. So, see you then.
And that's it, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. Links to free printable copies of any recipes here are down below in the show notes. Please like, comment, or if you'd like to see more of this kind of material, subscribe. As always, please stay safe, eat great food, and power to the proletariat. We'll see you next time.